Jai Guruji. So, continuing with our stories from Bikaner and continuing with our stories of how traveling, everything was being taken care of by Guruji in his own way, in ways that you cannot even dream about, and they were taken care of by Guruji. Now, one such occasion, which has multiple things to look at, came in one of the weekends when we finally found it embarrassing to avoid calling the general, the GOC, to our house. I was working in the school. I was a principal of the little wing of the army school, and so even I was busy Mondays to Fridays. Now, one weekend we got was a very good weekend, in which 13th is Baisakhi, 13th, and then 14th, 15th was the Saturday, Sunday, and I thought that was a lovely weekend to go and spend 3-4 days with Guruji. So the plan was to go on 12th and then come back on 15th. If I'm not wrong, 13th was a Friday in that year. And so I would get 3-4 days, which was a beautiful weekend to spend at Delhi with Guruji. But unluckily, since I was teaching in the school, it was the month of April. 13th April, it was not declared a holiday in Bikaner, but 14th was. And so we decided कि उसको बुलाना है इस weekend में, so we sent an invite for him for that weekend. Now, this time the note came back that this date, which was 14th is agreeable to the general. So we should plan our get together for the 14th of April. My husband came and told me that look, the date has been decided by them, 14th. Because they probably saw it the other way, that they are trying, they are not able to fix, so let us give them the date. Now they gave the date 14th, and now we could not escape that. You could not say, no, we can't do it on 14th. That was impossible. We could tell to the GOC's office. So my husband said, I have to agree on the 14th, and now I have to invite the other CEOs also. So be prepared for 14th. I was caught. 13th I cannot go. 14th is the party. Even 12th I cannot go because 13th is the school early morning. I have to go. So I said nicely. I was just feeling really awful that such a lovely weekend wasted. Now, heart was there in Delhi with Guruji, but our duties, everything lay here in Bikaner. Could not get out. A strange thing happened on 12th of April of that year. I just, a few moments after lunch, I just lay down to rest, just a few minutes, and I had to go around to give some directions to the staff, because now planning the lawn party for 14th was a big affair. And I had to look around the garden and plan that, look, here this will come, here the tables will be, here that will happen. So how the light will be and how all that, I had to go around. So I just took off a few minutes to lie down. When I lay down, just about in 5-10 minutes, I just dozed off. And when I dozed off in those 10 minutes, when I got up, I realized, I said, oh my God, I said, Guruji came in my dream. Just that 10 minutes I dozed off and Guruji came in the dream. And he never did otherwise. I didn't feel the need and he never did. When day in and day out we are taking darshan of him, I've never even thought about it. But here in the middle of the day, here Guruji comes in just that 10 minutes in my dream. I shook off my dozing and went around, did what I had to, came back, sat down and started scratching my brain. I thought, now, why did Guruji come in my dream? I could not remember, I could not see anything that happened in the dream, but just that Guruji came. And I kept scratching. I said, why did Guruji come? Why did Guruji come in the dream? What is it that he was trying to tell me? I couldn't think. Then something just told me that Guruji is calling you. You just got to go. Guruji is calling. Some hint Guruji is giving. Guruji is calling you. You just go to Guruji. I said, yeah, some message Guruji had to give me. And so I planned. I said, go to Delhi, I will now. Now I will. My husband has planned that party for the 14th, but to Delhi I will go now. Morning I have to go to the school. I will get over between 1 and 2. I just planned it out to myself. I said straight away at 2 o'clock, a little earlier than I normally get out, I'm going to go to Delhi. 13th is Baisakhi. I will go and take darshan of Guruji. I'm not going to miss this day. I told my husband, I said, dear, I have to go to Delhi. He says, are you crazy? Like, 13th is your school? I said, yes, I'll go immediately after school and from school only I will go. He said, then on 14th I've called, no, the general and others. I said, yeah, I'll come back. He says, how are you going to go on 13th and come back on 14th? You're going to be here for the party, no? You're the chief hostess now. I said, yeah, ho jayega. I'll see to it. I don't know how I'm going to achieve it. I'm not thinking negatively. I will not achieve it. I'm not thinking anything. I'm just telling him, I said, well, you handle it just in case. However, I've planned everything. And I will give the instruction to the cook and to the helpers what all things should be done, should be ready. Everything I'm planning out. The layout, the dishes, the menu, everything I'm planning out. Don't you worry. Even if I get late or stuck or anything, it will happen. The party is not to be cancelled. Just clutching my hands. I don't know what's going to happen, but I will go now that Guruji has, in a way, he's calling me. And so that was the plan. My husband had no way in front of my decisions once they are very strongly just taken. So my plan, I made my bag ready. Told the helper, the gari when it comes to fetch me back from school between 1 and 2, this bag must get into the gari and the gari will come to the school. The driver will be ready and the driver will come to the school. From there straight we are going to Delhi. Now remember, the driver was who? That same driver who is a Guruji follower. He was just too good. His speed was just too good and he was ever so happy to be going to Guruji. So I couldn't ask for a better deal. I know he was always willing and wanting. So with that, I went to school. From the school, the vehicle picked me up. From there, straight we went to Delhi. Delhi, we reached. It must be quite late, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever time I left. between that time from the school. He was a good driver, used to drive quite fast. So well, he took me, and I was at Empire State something like 10 p.m. or a little beyond that, between 10:30 at Empire State Gate. So just ask the guard to open the gate to get in. So the guard who was at the gate, he didn't open. He says, "No, madam, आज Guruji नहीं है." I said, "What rubbish? कैसे Guruji नहीं है? आज 13th April है, Guruji तो होंगे." "No, madam, आज Guruji यहाँ पे नहीं है, कहीं गए हैं." I said, "नहीं भैया, हमको तो जाना है, आप तो जानते हो हमको, हम तो आते ही हैं, हम तो गुरुजी के पास कितना आते हैं, आप तो पहचानते हो, खोल दो भैया." अच्छा, then he saw closely and he says, "नहीं मैडम, आज बड़े मंदिर में है आज फंक्शन." Oh my, I caught my head. I said, "Is it?" And I told the driver, I said, "Come on, let's go to the Bada Mandir." Then it struck me, oh God, I said, why did Guruji appear to me yesterday? The reason I got now, the Bada Mandir was ready, everything was ready. We were just waiting for Guruji to inaugurate the mandir. And 13th April is the date that Guruji inaugurated. That was the first function that was held in the Bada Mandir in that year. I said, okay, that is the reason why Guruji beckoned to me. How can Guruji have this function without me being over here? He's called me now for that. That is it. Oh God, I was crying with happiness that Guruji remembered me and bulana. So I told him, come on, let's rush to the Bada Mandir. And there we were. I reached the Bada Mandir, entered the gate, went up, saw the hall totally packed and crowded, and Guruji sitting there on the Sihasan, and it was nearing 11 o'clock. Can you imagine? I said, thank God, I've beaten it. On the 13th, I have reached the Bada Mandir where Guruji is, taken his darshan, and on a very big day as the 13th of April, Baisakhi, with the inauguration of the mandir. I said, oh God, am I happy. When I took darshan of Guruji, I just cannot describe to you the look of welcome that Guruji had on his face. It cannot be described, as if he's my heart, beating over there with the look that he gave me. Ki, yes, bache, I know what you wanted. See, I've called you, with that smile. The look that he gave me, oh my God. I was so grateful, so happy. Then Guruji made me sit down, and I sat there behind. For the first time I was sitting, or for once I think I was sitting. Otherwise I was always, the other functions, I've always been on the background, sitting and doing the seva, never in the hall, only helping to do the background sevas for the functions to go on, and for serving Guruji and whatever else had to be done in the kitchen, the cleaning of the mandir, etc. That's where I used to be. Now I'm here. Now I'm sitting, concentrating on Guruji, not once thinking, not once remembering that I have to go back. But remember, I have to go back, because now the 14th, very soon it's going to change the date at 12 o'clock. 14th is coming, it's come, and I have to be there to play chief hostess at my own house. But here I am, sitting before Guruji, not caring in the world, just leaving it to Guruji to handle the way he wants it to be. And the only time I remember in my life. That what did Guruji? He called to me a little past 12 o'clock, must be 12:31. He called me. He says, "Jana, tune वापस जाना है?" I haven't told him a thing. I haven't even said a word. Guruji knew it all. What is it that Guruji doesn't know? My God, you got to prick yourself to believe this. What is it that he doesn't know? I've hardly had the time to breathe. I've hardly had the time to enjoy Guruji sitting before me. I've hardly had the time to look around even in the hall to see the people, to meet the people, which was not at all my interest. And Guruji calls me around 1 o'clock. It may be, if I'm wrong, 2 o'clock maximum. And he calls me. "Hai gaddi hai?" I said, "Hanji Guruji." "Hai driver?" "Hanji Guruji." And to the driver also I had said, "Take darshan of Guruji and then be waiting in the car." Guruji said, "Chalo fir, Bikaner, chalo fir." He never sent me कि भी कित्थे ठहरी है, मम्मी कोल ठहरी है, चल तू इत्थे जाके रह ले, चल उत्थे जाके रह ले, because that's the way Guruji always used to organize. Whatever Guruji used to organize is the way it used to be. Guruji used to say, "अच्छा चलो फिर डिफेंस कॉलोनी." Then I would go, "अच्छा चलो फिर तू आंटी दे इधर नाल ले जा." Okay फिर. But today he is not asking. Today he is just telling me, "चलो फिर बीकानेर वापस." Amen. So there. Hanji Guruji, I knew Guruji knows it, and Guruji is so beautifully, planned it for me. I've reached here, I've taken his darshan on the 13th. Now he's sending me back. He knows what's happening there back home in Bikaner. So went away and with Bhaiya driver, I said, "Chalo Bhaiya, चले फिर वापस." "अभी मैडम?" मैंने कहा, "हाँ भैया अभी." रात का रात वापसी. You can imagine that. That was the day we only traveled to Delhi, an hour or two at the mandir, and not going anywhere to my house or to anybody's, and Guruji sending me back home. Unheard of, never done by Guruji. Today he did it. All to save uncle and me, our reputation in Bikaner. And so we were. Raat ka time, night time. Of course, we had to drive very carefully. The driver must have been sleepy, but a very willing person, and very happy that he got darshan on the 13th of Guruji. And slowly but surely, something around 12 o'clock, we reached back Bikaner. Really well done by him, and really grateful to Guruji. I reached back at about 12 o'clock or so, something around that time, midday. My husband was surprised, happily surprised and shocked to see me back in such a good time. And there I was with some instructions, left a little rest, and the party in the evening went off so beautifully, so well, so flawlessly. It is something that I can never forget. Never can it be left out of my great adventures, my travels, my Guruji dealings with us, our recognition, our heart, our mind, how he was seeing through every time, wherever we be. While I'm sitting at Bikaner, he is realizing my heart, I need to come over here, I want to come here, but I'm caught so badly. And he makes the impossible possible. This is my Guruji. Jai Guruji.